list she sent me, and we said, Digital Globe's an example of somebody who is going to, both of these individuals would need to receive the invoices. So my first step in setting this up, went to database and groups. And I added a new group called Digital Globe. All of the groups for your members, for those companies that had 2 email addresses next to them, they all already have a group. So I created these. So when I created this, all I did was, actually, I think I'm missing, okay, this one I was confused on. There's like do both these companies, both of them need groups as well? Or is this 2, do you know what I'm saying?
Those are 2 different companies.
Okay. So, so what I did, I don't think I created these 2. So what I did is I grabbed the company name and I just said, add a new group, put the company name in, and I saved. And that's all I did. There it is.
And
so
tell me where you are again.
Yeah, database groups.
Database groups, okay. I don't think I've spent too much time up there.
This is kind of like a behind the scenes part of the product that you really otherwise wouldn't need to get into. Basically, the e-lists are based off of groups. So the reason I'm creating these separate groups is so that nobody else could decide to invite themselves to that e-list. So groups have to do with permit. We talked a long time ago about how we have member types in the system. And every time a member type was created, a mirror image of that member type was also created, but we called it a group. And the reason these are 2 separate things is because member types control how much money your members are paying in dues.
Right.
And the length of their membership period, whereas the group determines the permissions they have in the system. And so a standard use of a group would be if you have a board of directors and you want to give that board of directors some special permissions, we would come back here, create a board of directors group, and then assign that group to your different board of director profiles. That way, they have additional permissions in the system, but they don't have 2 profiles. Because if we had them in a board of directors member type and a board of directors their member type and the board of directors member type, they'd have 2 separate profiles because you can only be in one member type at any given time, but you can be in multiple groups at any given time for those additional permissions. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't remember talking about it before, so it's good to talk about.
Yeah.
I'm sure we did, but I don't remember.
Well, and when it doesn't have a real life application, then it kind of, you're taking in so much information when we do the trainings. It's kind of like, okay, I'm only going to focus on the things that I have to know, and I don't know how this applies, so I'm not going to think about it. I think that happens a lot. Your brain just kind of does it. So what I'm doing, since these groups are used for permissions, right, when I'm creating e-lists in the system, and those e-lists are going to be what creates the alias email address, and then the individuals that are part of that group will be kind of like umbrellaed under that alias email address. And so I wanted to create separate groups for each company. Otherwise, somebody may go, Digital Globe, what's that? That sounds cool. I want to be a part of that. Boom, they're receiving Digital Globe's invoice. So to prevent that from happening, when I talked through this with, we have a new role in the company. She's kind of like a problem solver. When I talked through this process with her, she was like, yeah, but you're probably going to want to set up groups just to ensure that nobody else is like, oh, that looks cool. I want that. I want to be in that, even though I don't know what it is. And then next thing you know, they're getting the invoice. So that's why I'm creating separate groups. Kind of got it? Kind of cool?
Yeah, and see, we only have 43 members, and you see how many people need at least 2 people who need the invoice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because I think that this is going to work fine. And if you have somebody else that needs to be added, we can go through this again. Or if you want to brave it, you can always try to set it up and then say, hey, I just attempted this, Adrienne. Can you go in here and double check my work? And I can just make sure that it was done correctly.
So you added Iridium just now, but did you actually add the person? I didn't see you add the person's email address.
So this is kind of step 1. Once the groups are made, there's actually like a step 2 and a step 3. Which is why I'm doing this for you. So,
well, at least I was paying attention closely enough to notice I never saw you add the email address.
exactly. So I've created all the groups. Next step, we're going to community and e-list. I'm starting to create these e-lists for each of these groups. This was really easy. All I did was added a new e-list. For example, I just created WIEA. I'm going to throw them in here. I also put that company name in the description because it just made sense to me. Notice it's created our alias email address, WIEA, _inc, period, at sia.memberclicks.net. And then what I am also going to do is tell the system, okay, this group is who can be a part of this email.
That's why you can watch movies. That's why you have internet on airplanes. Viasat.
Oh, Viasat? Really?
Mm-hmm.
That is really, and now you can text on planes, which is kind of cool. I liked that.
That's why you have the ability to do that right there.
That is really cool. I did not realize that. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. So we've created this one. So now basically what I would need to do is take this email address. Now I'm going to go find Viasat. Am I saying that right?
It doesn't matter. It's Viasat, but it doesn't matter.
Now in this company, Bruce isn't receiving the email. Everybody that belongs to this email address is going to receive the invoice.
Oh, isn't that interesting?
Then what I would do at that point.
Shit, there's a lot of work that goes into this.
There is, but that's, like I said, that's why I wanted to do it for you, to get you started. And then if there's too many more changes, like you can always just send me these lists. Even if you wanted to do this, before renewals go out next year, if you want to send me an updated list, I could just go through and make sure everybody's been set up correctly for you. And then the last part to it is I just need to make sure that Bruce Castle. So why wouldn't he be a linked profile?
You spelled his name wrong.
Oh, I did?
Mm-hmm.
Bruce. Oh, here he is. Perfect.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to put him in that group.
Yeah, I'm never going to remember all those steps to do all the rest of these people. That was a lot of steps.
That is totally fine. I can just do it for you, which I am totally fine doing that. Michelle White.
Well, I mean, I need to know how to do it, but that was just a lot of steps for one thing. So, I mean, I would think once I know how to do it, I'll be okay, but...
As long as you understand why I'm doing... Okay, so is Michelle, am I spelling her name wrong, or is she maybe not a linked profile?
She might not be in here. Let's look.
Looking at the linked profiles.
No, she should be in the database.
Michelle, is this the same person? Michelle White, Michelle Gay?
Michelle White. One more down.
Oh, hello. Right in front of my eyeballs.
You don't say easy peasy anymore. What happened?
I think it must have been a phase.
About it that once.
I must have been a phase. I go through phases. I think I pick things up from you guys, and so then I start saying them, and then when my clients move on, it's like my phrasing changes.
I teased you about it once too, and then I've never
heard you might have hurt my feelings.
Sorry, I feel better. I got my hair cut last week, and I said, "Oh my God, whose gray hair is all this on the apron?" And my guy's like, "Well, I didn't trim my beard while I was cutting her hair." So that hurt.
I have horrible genes. So I'm 26, and I have to go get my grays covered up because my gray hair is so bad at 26 years old. Yeah, it's really bad. My fiance's mom was in town. She stayed a week with us, and we went to dinner, and I hadn't been to the hairdresser in 2 months. I couldn't find the time to go, and she said, "Do you have gray hair?" I was like, "Yes, ma'am." Thanks for pointing that out.
I just turned 50, and I probably only about 20%, but it's just started to come in pretty heavy. And I don't color it. I just was like, you know what, this is a pain. But my hair's short now, so whatever.
And gray hair doesn't take color the same way your regular, like mine doesn't. It doesn't hold the color, which is just very annoying. But yeah, mine's so bad. If I don't get my hair colored, if I put it in a ponytail, I look like a skunk. It's really mainly just like this huge stripe in the front, and it is totally
mine can do that. A lot of my girlfriends, growing up and stuff, they've got that skunky thing, and mine's just spread out really evenly. A lot of people go, "Oh my God, you have such great highlights," and I go, "Oh, thanks." You haven't had highlights in 2.5 years. Great.
That's awesome. And I wish it was like, I mean, I was just going, I'm naturally dark headed. I was going blonde for a while just because it covered it up. It blended in more.
No, I did the same thing. My hair is really dark, and my hair just kept getting darker and darker, and my highlights kept getting lighter and lighter, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, this is costing me hundreds of dollars like every 6 weeks. So that's when I just was like, I'm 50, forget it, it's over. I know 50 it's not young. It is what it is.
But like, you can rock it though. You can rock. I mean, I think you can rock it.
I got an expensive haircut, and I told him to keep making it more stylish. So that's what we're doing. Okay, so
you saw what I did. I don't necessarily need to bore you with watching me go through that process every time, but basically that's what I'm going to do for all of these guys. You're not going to have to do anything on your end. When it's time to send out the invoices, the system's going to pick up that alias email. It's going to know who's umbrellaed underneath them, and it's just going to send it out to everybody underneath that E-list alias. So that it's going to happen automatically. Once it's set up, you never have to do it again. If you have a new company that's added, like I said, if you want to just send it to me, I never mind doing that. Even once you've graduated and you've gone on, I'm going to do it so many times, it'll take me about 20 seconds to set it up for you. So it really won't be a big deal.
Okay, show me the steps one more time so I know it. I mean, quickly, just like boom, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and then I have it fresh in my mind.
All right, step 1 is creating the group. So we're adding a group, we're putting the company name in, we're saving. Once we've added the group, we're going to community, we're going to our E-list. We're setting up our new E-list. So an example would be Spire Global. That's the E-list name. I put that as the E-list description. We don't want the replies directed to the entire list, meaning that if somebody responds to the email, we don't want everybody in that email to necessarily get it. We want it to just come to you, right?
Right.
Then I'm going to go to Spire, boom. Grabs that group. All I have to do from here is hit save E-list. I can grab that Spire alias. I'm going to go into the Spire company profile.
It's going to be their new,
Changing the email, boom. I'm saving. And then the 2 emails that you have on that list, Jonathan and George, both of them I need to go into the linked profiles. I'm going to look for George, adding him to that group. So anybody that's in this group would get the email. He belongs to Spire, saving. Going back, you need to do the same thing for, what did I say? George.
George John.
Jonathan.
Oh, Jonathan Rosenblatt and George John, who told me a couple days ago the only way they could pay their dues invoice was via credit card. They didn't understand any other format of paying a bill. That's
interesting. And you're not taking online payments, right?
No, I mean, I can run a credit card online, and that's something that Moolah and I went through, but I just thought it was an interesting comment that someone didn't understand the concept of writing a check or an ACH, bank payment. He was like, well, what do you mean? How do I pay a bill if you don't take credit cards? And I was like,
what?
Have you never heard of a checking account before, dude?
Things are going away. Things are I said something, pound sign. I know. What's a pound sign?
I said that to our intern 2 summers ago, and I still tease him. He came in, he goes, oh, I missed that conference call. And I go, why? And he goes, well, no one else was available, and you were on the phone. And he said, I called, and it wanted me to put in a number followed by a pound sign, and I didn't know what a pound sign was. I go, did you think Googling what the pound sign was? And he goes, No. And I said, it's a hashtag. Or he said, oh, I said, it's this. Oh, that's the hashtag. He's like, oh, he's your age.
It's
He's your age.
embarrassing. It's
I was like,
embarrassing.
oh my God, Tom. Just Google it if nothing else. You're that generation. Figure it out.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. We're losing it.
Yes.
Cool. So that's the full process. I'm going
Okay.
to set that up for everybody. I'll finish that up. When do we need to send out invoices?
Well, we already sent out invoices, but then the next
yeah.
reminder is out, right? In the month, and so we sent them out October 17th. And I don't think a lot of people opened up that email. So I forgot to, last time I checked, still a lot of people hadn't opened up the email. So.
Okay. Well, I'll get that finished up definitely before the end of this week. So that way, when that next one goes out, it should.
We're using,
like
you can see we're using it. We're using the system for broadcast emails more and more.
Awesome.
So.
This is awesome. We'll see how many people opened. It's always fun. 81.
81, right?
You've got one bounce this time, though.
Yeah, but it was, who was it? Did you click on it?
I can.
It was, wasn't you, was it again?
Mm-mm.
It was Kelly Nicklin. I guess I'll take her out.
Oh, it's her. I'm currently out of the office.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's, oh yeah, that's a big Mills Hat show.
So that's normal. That's fine. That's cool.
So an out of office reply is a bounce back?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know that, honestly. I thought it was just if like their inbox was full or if it was a bad address, but I guess if they're out of the office, if they're out of the office is on, then it bounces back as well, which is cool that it shows you that. So we didn't accidentally like delete her or something.
Okay. No, that's fine. Yeah, I think we have you out of the database now. So you were our only bounce back for a while.
Yeah, I think I am. Yeah, that's not me.
Okay.
Cool. Awesome. So I'm going to get this tidied up. If not today, tomorrow's a little crazy, but probably Friday morning will be my next time I'll revisit this if I need to. I should be able to get it done today. And then I'm just going to have Kinsey, she's our problem solver. I'm just going to have her go in the system, make sure everything looks correct to her. Okay. So we'll test this out with the new invoices, see how it goes. Cross fingers, everything's going to be perfect, and it's just going to be seamless. I don't foresee any reasons it wouldn't be. Okay. I do have like 10 more minutes. Do you have any other questions, or do you want to schedule some more time to connect next week, or how's the Go Live checklist going? Where are you at with that? Everything's done, right?
I don't have anything. I mean, I'm sure that there's going to be things that come up as I'm using the database. I don't think anyone else is using it on a day-to-day basis except me. I've created all these lists for working groups. So when they're when like Charity needs to go online and pull a list, she doesn't have to do anything, right? She just goes on, pulls a list, downloads it, and boom, it's there. And then because some of our working groups have non-members, I created like two lists for our government working group, one with just members and one with the members and the non-members. And because sometimes we don't invite the non-members, like say some of our members have their legal counsel, but those guys aren't as prospects. So for our working groups, they each have 2 lists, so it's fine. The lists are working fine. We have a new person that started, took Carla's place. She started, I think, yesterday. She doesn't seem to be too computer savvy, which is interesting. So I'm going to hold off having her use the database for now, and just have her work on other stuff. So, but and then when we have our first event, then that'll be a different thing. I'll have to remember how to set up forms and stuff again, and we'll get there, right?
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Well, I am going to get this rocking and rolling. Okay. And then I'll let you know when it's complete. So I'm going to get that 0 taken out of that one, committees that I cleaned up. I'm going to re-import all of your prospect lists to include what list they should be a part of, and then I'll get this company e-list settled up. I'll let you know when those are done. And kind of at this point, you know, any small questions that you feel like you have, anything that you might need a reminder on, reach out to that help team. If it's something that you feel like you could use some training on, or you feel confused, still reach out to me in the meantime, just to make sure, you know, you're feeling comfortable and confident. Of course, the help team can help you work through anything, but I know sometimes you may have a list of questions and it's like, hey, it'd just be easier to get on the phone with you, and that's fine too. Sound good?
Sounds good. Thanks. Appreciate all your help. I mean, you know, maybe this is it, and hopefully you never have to talk to me again, but I have a feeling that's probably not the case, but we're getting there. I mean, it's certainly, I have no pending questions at the moment. How's that?
Yeah, and I definitely want to touch base after this next invoice goes out. So keep an eye on that. And I'm going to keep an eye on it too, but I just want to make sure that e-list, I just want to make sure that's buttoned up as clean as it needs to be, since that's kind of a new process. And yeah, but other than that, let me know.
One company paid their dues, and then a second company paid their dues. I marked the first company in, and then I paid, and now I need to mark the second company. So it was SpaceX that paid. Oh yeah, see, there it is.
Very good job. Awesome. And we can go to their little.
I didn't like the way the confirmation letter read, so I went in and I rewrote it, and whatever.
And that's how it's going to be in the beginning, is like, I actually don't like that. And then that's when I think things start clicking, like, oh, that's where it's coming from, and stuff like that. So that's cool.
Yeah. There's kind of seems like there's confirmation emails coming from two different places, and I was a little confused by that. So it seems to be that there's some settings. There's let's see. I'm in my own system right now. There's
So I can tell you what the problem is right now. This dues renewals doesn't need to have these. The reason why.
That's where I was. That's the one I set up, and then when I sent her when that confirmation went out, I was like, well, that's not the language I wrote. So yeah, then I saw where it came from, and I changed all of the.
In here.
Yeah.
Sweet. So this is where it's pulling. This is where that renewal notification should be pulling from. This is the overriding. So this is where you want all of this set up, not the invoice template.
Yeah, I didn't know that. And then like that payment failure, I realized they're not going to be processing on credit cards for the dues. So
the only reason you need to set up payment failure is if you have automatic renewals happening. So like if the system's storing credit card info and just running it every year, otherwise it's not doing anything for you.
Yeah, if that's not doing anything for me. So.
Notice how it says for auto renewals, auto renewal payment.
Yeah, so I went in and fixed all that, and I think I had to do it. For each membership type, right? So I guess I took it. So okay,
cool.
We got it.
Let me know. All right.
Keep
well,
learning. Let me know if you learning. So pretty soon I'll just be working for a company like yours. So
absolutely. Come on.
I don't want to be on your side of things. I'm happy on my side of things.
All right.
Thanks.
Well, let me know if you need anything else. Talk to you soon, and try to enjoy the rest of your week.
Thanks. Take care.
All right. Thanks. You too. Bye.
Bye.